When an unexpected blackout hits, it's not the expensive gear in your garage that saves you, it's the quick fixes and clever hacks hiding in plain sight. From the kitchen drawer to the bathroom cabinet, you already have the tools you need to keep your family warm, fed, and safe. The problem? Most people don't know how to use them when the lights go out. Today, I'm revealing 10 simple DIY household hacks that could turn a powerless night into a manageable situation. And here's the twist, you can prepare all of them in less than an hour without spending more than pocket change. Stay with me, because the last hack could be the one that keeps your home running while everyone else is left in the dark. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button so you never miss the survival tricks that could keep you and your family safe when the next blackout hits. Number 1. Candle in a can heater. When the power goes out in the dead of winter, most people panic about staying warm, but seasoned preppers know that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective. The candle in a can heater is one of those forgotten lifesavers. During the 2021 Texas freeze, when millions were left without heat for days, some families used this old-school trick to keep rooms warm enough to survive, and it cost them less than a takeout meal. The concept is brilliantly simple. Place a few small candles inside a metal can or tin, and let their combined heat radiate. The metal traps and focuses the warmth, turning a few flames into a surprisingly effective heat source for small, enclosed spaces. In tests, a well-made candle in a can can raise the temperature of a car or small room by several degrees enough to keep frostbite at bay and prevent pipes from freezing. The beauty of this method lies in its accessibility. You don't need expensive gear, just tea lights, a clean coffee can or paint can, and something to safely elevate the candles inside. Even better, these materials are shelf-stable and easy to store. Tea lights can burn for 3-4 hours each, and a single can can hold enough to provide steady heat through a long winter night. Beyond warmth, the candle in a can doubles as emergency lighting and even a small cooking surface. With a metal grill or mesh on top, you can heat soup, boil water, or cook simple meals. This versatility can make the difference between being merely uncomfortable and truly surviving. There's also a morale factor. In cold, dark conditions, the glow of candlelight feels comforting, creating a psychological boost that's often just as important as physical warmth. That emotional lift can keep people calm and focused during prolonged outages. Best of all, you can make these heaters ahead of time and keep them in your home, car, or bug-out bag. In the next blackout, when neighbors are shivering under piles of blankets, you'll have a portable heat source ready to go, proving that sometimes survival is as simple as a can and a flame. Number 2, water bottle lantern. When the lights go out, most people scramble for flashlights, only to realize the batteries are dead or missing. But with a simple water bottle and a small light source, you can create a lantern bright enough to illuminate an entire room. This isn't just a clever hack, it's a proven survival technique used in disaster zones and remote expeditions around the world. The principle is pure science. Light travels in straight lines, but when it passes through water, it scatters in every direction. By strapping a headlamp or flashlight to the side or base of a clear, water-filled bottle, you transform a narrow beam into a soft, even glow that can fill a tent, kitchen, or emergency shelter. In 2015, aid workers in Nepal used this exact trick to light makeshift medical tents after the devastating earthquake cut power for weeks. The beauty of the water bottle lantern is its versatility. Any clear plastic or glass bottle works, from a basic store-bought water bottle to a sturdy canteen. The water acts as a diffuser, eliminating harsh shadows and preventing eye strain, a critical factor if you're cooking, reading maps, or treating injuries. Even better, you don't need specialized equipment. A cheap LED flashlight or headlamp, a piece of tape, and a clean bottle are all it takes. In fact, solar-powered garden lights can be inserted into bottles for a completely battery-free solution. Charge them during the day, and you have hours of light at night without touching your backup power supply. The water bottle lantern also serves as a morale booster. In long blackouts, a room bathed in soft light feels safer and more comforting than the harsh glare of a direct beam. That sense of normalcy can help children sleep better and keep adults calmer when uncertainty runs high. Best of all, this hack is virtually free. Keep a couple of empty bottles and a compact flashlight in your emergency kit, and you'll never be left in the dark. In the next power outage, when your neighbors are fumbling with dead batteries and dim candles, you'll have a reliable, room-filling light source built from nothing more than water and a beam. Number 3, foil-backed curtains. When most people see foil-backed curtains, they think of blocking sunlight in a bedroom or keeping a room cool in summer. But in a blackout or disaster, these simple coverings can become one of the most effective survival tools you own. During the 2021 Texas winter freeze, some families used foil-backed curtains not for style but for survival. They trapped precious heat inside, kept freezing drafts out, and created insulated warm zones that made the difference between comfort and dangerously cold conditions. The secret lies in the material. The reflective foil backing bounces radiant heat back into the room during winter and reflects it away in summer, while the heavy fabric layer blocks air movement. That combination provides both thermal insulation and light control, making it invaluable when you need to regulate temperature without electricity. Their survival uses go far beyond just hanging them over windows. You can use foil-backed curtains to section off part of a home during an outage, concentrating heat or cool air in a single space to save energy. They can be draped over doorways, tent openings, or even used as makeshift blankets in extreme emergencies. In hot climates, they can keep rooms dramatically cooler, reducing the risk of heat stroke when fans and AC are dead. Preppers also use them to protect perishable supplies. Covering pantry doors or small storage rooms with foil-backed curtains can help shield food from temperature swings, extending its shelf life. In situations where you want to maintain privacy and security, they also block outside light, preventing anyone from seeing candles, lanterns, or solar lights from the street. Small details matter in survival, and foil-backed curtains solve problems people rarely think about until it's too late, like preventing frost from forming on the inside of windows, or keeping a sleeping area dark for proper rest during irregular schedules. Best of all, they're reusable, compact when folded, and relatively inexpensive. Number 4. DIY battery bank. When most people think about emergency power, they picture expensive generators or high-end solar kits. But in a blackout or disaster, a simple DIY battery bank can give you critical electricity for a fraction of the cost, and it could be the reason your lights, radios, and medical devices keep working when everyone else is in the dark. During the 2017 Puerto Rico blackout, resourceful families built makeshift battery banks from common parts, powering LED lights, charging phones, and running small fans for days on end without the grid. The principle is straightforward. A battery bank is essentially a group of rechargeable batteries connected together to store energy, which you can later use to power devices through an inverter or USB ports. By salvaging deep-cycle batteries from unused vehicles, combining them with inexpensive solar panels or trickle chargers, and using basic wiring, you can create a dependable, portable power source that fits in a small corner of your home. Its survival uses are almost endless. You can keep communication lines open by charging phones and radios, run small medical equipment like CPAP machines, or provide steady light in key areas without burning through candles or fuel. It can even power a portable water filter pump, ensuring you have clean drinking water during prolonged outages. In cold climates, a DIY battery bank can be used with low-watt heating pads to prevent pipes from freezing, or with USB-powered fans to circulate air in extreme heat. For those relying on critical refrigeration for medications, a well-built bank paired with a compact cooler can mean the difference between life-saving doses staying viable or spoiling. The real advantage is control. You decide the size, capacity, and portability. Unlike large generators, a battery bank is silent, doesn't produce fumes, and won't alert neighbors that you have power. In a crisis where theft or unwanted attention is a risk, that silence is golden. Number 5. Cooking street stove. When most people think about cooking stoves, they imagine camping trips or backyard barbecues. But in a blackout or disaster, a small portable stove can be the difference between eating hot, safe meals and going hungry. During the 2021 Texas freeze, thousands of families without power relied on compact stoves, sometimes nothing more than single-burner propane units to boil water, heat food, and melt snow for drinking. In freezing temperatures, that hot meal wasn't just comfort, it was survival. The science behind their importance is simple. Cooking at safe temperatures kills harmful bacteria that can quickly multiply in food during outages. In emergencies, eating spoiled or contaminated food can lead to illness when medical help is hours or even days away. A cooking stove allows you to safely prepare rice, beans, canned goods, or fresh game, even when your kitchen appliances are useless. Its survival uses extend beyond cooking. Boiling water is one of the fastest, most reliable ways to make it safe to drink when filtration systems fail. A stove can also be used to sterilize medical tools, heat packs for injuries, or melt wax to seal jars and preserve food longer. In cold conditions, lighting the stove in a well-ventilated shelter can take the edge off freezing air, making it easier to sleep and conserve body heat. Fuel flexibility is another key advantage. Many portable stoves can run on propane, butane, alcohol, or even wood, depending on the model. This means you're not tied to one fuel source, an essential feature when supply chains are broken. Models with wind guards and adjustable flames make cooking faster and more efficient, saving fuel for longer use. In remote or post-disaster areas, a stove can boost morale just as much as it sustains health. Being able to prepare a familiar hot drink or a warm meal can lift spirits, especially for children or the elderly. In prolonged crises, that small comfort can be as valuable as any tool in your kit. Best of all, cooking stoves are compact, affordable, and store for years without losing function. Number 6. DIY sand water filter. When clean drinking water becomes scarce during a blackout or disaster, dehydration can set in far faster than most people realize. A DIY sand water filter is one of the simplest, most effective ways to make questionable water safer, using nothing more than common materials you might already have. After the 2010 Haiti earthquake, aid workers and locals alike used makeshift sand filters to turn muddy, debris-filled water into something far more drinkable when bottled supplies ran out. The concept is straightforward. Water is poured through layers of filtering material, typically gravel, coarse sand, and fine sand, which trap dirt, sediment, and even some microorganisms. Gravity does the work, pulling water through these layers and leaving the impurities behind. While it doesn't remove every possible contaminant, it's a massive step towards safety, especially when paired with boiling or chemical treatment afterward. Building one is easy. You can use a plastic bottle, bucket, or even a cut-off soda bottle. Start by adding a layer of small rocks or gravel to the bottom to catch large debris. Above that, pour in a thick layer of coarse sand, followed by an even thicker layer of fine sand. The fine sand acts like a natural sieve, capturing tiny particles that would otherwise slip through. If available, adding a final layer of activated charcoal above the sand boosts the filter's ability to remove odors and improve taste. In survival situations, this filter can mean the difference between drinking water that makes you sick and water that keeps you alive. It's a low-cost, reusable method that requires no electricity and almost no maintenance, just occasional rinsing of the layers. In a prolonged crisis, when clean water sources become unpredictable, this simple setup could keep your family hydrated and healthy long after bottled water disappears from store shelves. Number 7. Mason jar oil lamp. When the power goes out, light becomes one of the first necessities, and a mason jar oil lamp is one of the easiest, most reliable ways to get it. This simple setup has been used for centuries, from frontier cabins to wartime households, because it's cheap, long-lasting, and easy to make with materials you probably already have. During the 1977 New York blackout, families who had no flashlights or batteries improvised lamps using jars, cooking oil, and bits of fabric, keeping their homes lit for days without electricity. The principle is straightforward. A mason jar serves as a sturdy, heat-resistant container. Fill it with lamp oil, vegetable oil, or even olive oil in a pinch. Then insert a wick. This can be a store-bought cotton wick or a strip of 100% cotton fabric twisted into a rope. The wick draws the oil upward through capillary action, and when lit, it produces a steady flame that can burn for hours on just a few ounces of fuel. One of the best advantages of a mason jar oil lamp is its versatility. You can adjust the wick height to control brightness, use colored glass jars to soften the glow, or even add essential oils to mask unpleasant odors during a crisis. Unlike candles, which burn down quickly, an oil lamp can be refilled indefinitely, making it far more sustainable in long-term outages. Safety is key. Always place the lamp on a stable, heat-proof surface and never leave it unattended. But when used properly, it can provide consistent light for reading, cooking, or moving around your home when darkness falls. In a prolonged blackout, having a few mason jar oil lamps ready could mean the difference between struggling in the dark and maintaining a sense of normalcy. Number 8. Vaseline cotton ball fire street arters. When it comes to starting a fire in wet, windy, or freezing conditions, few tools are as reliable as Vaseline cotton ball fire starters. This simple, low-cost hack has been a favorite of campers, hikers, and survivalists for decades because it works almost every time, no matter the weather. During the 2018 California wildfires, evacuation teams reported that displaced families in forested areas used Vaseline-soaked cotton balls to quickly light cooking fires when store-bought fire starters had run out. The science is straightforward. Cotton is highly flammable on its own, but it burns fast. When you saturate it with petroleum jelly, Vaseline, you create a waterproof, slow-burning fuel source. The petroleum jelly repels moisture, allowing the cotton to catch a spark even after being submerged in water. Once lit, each ball can burn for 5 to 10 minutes, plenty of time to ignite damp kindling or stubborn logs. Making them is simple. Pull apart a standard cotton ball to create more surface area. Rub Vaseline into the fibers until fully coated, and store them in an airtight container or Ziploc bag. For even more portability, you can stuff several into an empty pill bottle or film canister. These containers are small enough to carry in a pocket, glove box, or emergency kit without taking up valuable space. In a blackout or survival situation, fire is more than just warmth. It's a way to boil water, cook food, and boost morale. Having a dependable way to start that fire can make all the difference. Vaseline cotton ball fire starters are lightweight, inexpensive, and last for years without degrading. In a crisis, they could be the spark literally that keeps you safe, warm, and fed. Number 9. Baking sheet solar reflector. When most people see an old baking sheet, they think of cookies or roasting vegetables. But in a blackout or emergency, that same piece of kitchenware can become a powerful survival tool, a solar reflector. The concept is simple but incredibly effective. Shiny metal surfaces bounce and concentrate light and heat, making them valuable for both illumination and warmth when conventional power sources fail. During prolonged outages in Alaska's remote towns, residents have used baking sheets to amplify the light from candles or lanterns, reflecting it across a wider area and reducing the number of light sources needed. This trick saves fuel and keeps critical spaces like kitchens and work areas better lit without draining batteries. The same principle works for heat. By placing a baking sheet behind a small heat source like a candle heater or portable stove, you can reflect more warmth into the room instead of letting it vanish into the walls. In survival shelters, even a few degrees of extra heat can be the difference between shivering through the night and sleeping comfortably. The reflector also plays a role outdoors. Campers and preppers use baking sheets to boost the efficiency of solar cookers, directing more sunlight onto their pots and pans. In a pinch, you can tilt a sheet toward the sun to create a quick makeshift signaling mirror for rescue teams, its glare visible for miles. Maintenance is minimal, just keep the surface clean and free of rust for maximum reflectivity. Even heavily used sheets with scratches or burn marks will still perform well in emergencies. Storage is easy too. Slip it behind other pans or hang it from a hook, and it's ready to deploy at a moment's notice. In a world where specialized gear often comes with a hefty price tag, the humble baking sheet proves that sometimes the best survival tools are already in your kitchen, waiting to be repurposed. Whether it's pushing back the darkness, capturing warmth, or boosting solar energy, this simple item can be a quiet but critical ally in the next blackout. Number 10. Duct tape window and door seals. When most people see a roll of duct tape, they think of quick fixes for leaky hoses or torn packaging. But in a blackout or winter emergency, duct tape can become a literal lifesaver, especially when used to seal windows and doors. During the brutal 2021 Texas freeze, some families trapped in uninsulated homes discovered that blocking cold drafts with nothing more than duct tape and plastic sheeting could keep indoor temperatures several degrees warmer, enough to prevent pipes from freezing and to make living spaces tolerable without power. The science behind this is straightforward. Even small gaps around window frames or under door edges can allow massive amounts of warm air to escape and cold air to rush in. By using duct tape to secure plastic wrap, blankets, or heavy fabric over these openings, you create a barrier that reduces heat loss and stops icy drafts. This not only helps conserve body warmth, but also reduces the strain on limited heat sources like wood stoves, space heaters, or even candle-powered warmers. Beyond temperature control, duct tape sealing can also be crucial during dust storms, wildfire smoke events, or chemical spills situations where outside air becomes dangerous to breathe. In such cases, Taping seams and edges keeps harmful particles out, buying you valuable time until conditions improve or evacuation is possible. Duct tape is ideal for this job because of its durability, flexibility, and ability to adhere to a wide variety of surfaces, even in damp or cold conditions where other adhesives fail. A single roll can cover multiple windows and doors, and when stored in a cool, dry place, it lasts for years without losing its stick. In an emergency, these seals can be installed in minutes, yet provide hours or even days of protection. Cheap, compact, and endlessly useful, duct tape should be a staple in every emergency kit. When the next blackout or cold snap hits, it could mean the difference between shivering in a drafty room and staying warm enough to ride out the storm. When it comes to surviving a blackout, the difference between comfort and crisis often comes down to small, smart preparations. Simple DIY tools and household hacks like duct tape seals, vinegar disinfectants, or makeshift heaters might seem ordinary, but in an emergency, they become priceless lifelines. The key is not waiting until disaster strikes to learn or gather them. Every minute you prepare now is a minute you won't spend scrambling later, wishing you had acted sooner. Emergencies rarely give warnings, and when the lights go out, stores close, and supplies vanish, those who planned ahead will be the ones staying safe, warm, and fed. Your future self and your family will thank you for taking these steps today instead of regretting them tomorrow. If you found these tips useful and want more life-saving strategies you can use before the next crisis hits, make sure you subscribe now. Every week, we bring you powerful, practical survival knowledge that could one day make all the difference. Don't wait for an emergency to start preparing. Hit that subscribe button and stay ahead of the storm.